Action!
Hey, I'm Lucas, and this is the Vader, a hybrid of a badger and a vulture. But first, before we start, I would like to say thanks to my partners Carter and Alden. They helped me a lot in this project. But anyways, on with the show. Honey badger's structural adaptations. 1. The nose. The Vader's nose is super sensitive to carrion. It can smell a dead animal carcass up to a mile away. Their wings. The wings of a Vader help it fly to high altitudes. In fact, they hold the record for reaching the highest altitudes with a 2-meter wingspan. Also, the feathers are waterproof so that they can fly through rain for long periods. Front legs. Their front legs with sharp claws help them climb into trees and dig faster than most other animals. Back legs. Their back legs help them carry their prey and help stabilize landings, while the jaws of the Vader are extremely strong and can even chomp through bones. The Vader's hearing is exceptionally good and can hear from very far away. 7. Head. There's little hair on their head, except for the fur on the top, so it can regulate heat and keep clean. 8. Their brain. The brain of a Vader is pretty intelligent. For example, if they can't find their main sources of food, which are carcasses, to help them not use so much energy for prey, they would just go and drop rocks on eggs to crack them open. While Vaders have rubbery skin that is very strong, and it's almost just immune to venom and stings. The origin of the Vader. About 20 years ago, the first few specimens of the Vader were made. A male vulture and a female badger. Due conditions of droughts and famine, they mated with each other with no other mates around. There were three original specimens, one male and 2 females. Vulture traits. The vulture has a strong neck to tear through flesh. It also has little hair on its face to keep diseases and parasites from clinging onto it, and can also regulate temperature with little hair on its head when changing altitudes. And usually vultures travel in groups of 7 to 8. Honey badger traits. The honey badger has 3 centimeters of thick skin, which makes it nearly even bulletproof. Also, the honey badger is sting and venom proof because of this. Honey badgers usually travel on their own as solitary creatures. Also, they have a strong bite, which is one of the traits that's passed down to the Vader. Sharp claws, and for digging and climbing and swimming. Groups. The Vaders live in groups of 4 to 5 called elites. They live in these groups because vultures live in groups of 7 to 8. But badgers are very solitary creatures, so they would not be able to handle groups of 7 or 8. Usually the young would stay underground, safer when they burrow, while the leader of the elite would stay above ground in the tree as a lookout. The Vaders have a superpower in their stomach. Since it is the most acidic stomach in the entire kingdom of Animalia, they can digest carcasses and even dung up to 3 days old, with all that energy from dung, which is actually the waste, into new energy. Its acidic stomachs can even burn through some bones and let it eat regurgitated food. The Vader can run up to speeds of 20 miles per hour and can swim at a maximum of 7 miles per hour. Also, it can burrow at 2 miles per hour and can fly up to top speeds of 50 miles per hour. The Vader's phenotypes. The Vader gets dominant facial features from the badger, while it also gets tails and wing features from the vulture. Also, it usually has the stomach of a vulture and kind of combined legs. But its brain usually kind of resembles a badger because it has dominant phenotypes for how aggressive this animal is. First, we'll discuss the habitat, including diet and predators. On the hot landscape of the savanna, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Look at the terrain and you'll see it's covered in a blanket of tall, dry grass with few trees and scarce sources of fresh water. Diet will include carrion, which is actually dead animals, picked up from its cousin, the vulture, eggs, and nearly everything else. Predators include rhinos, lions, hyenas, and for infants, raptors. What I mean by raptors are birds of prey, including hawks and eagles. In conclusion, we reviewed the essential for this animal's way of life, and this lesson is over. I'll see you on the savannah.